In this video, we'll be reviewing the Gold ISIS MT5 by Mr. Lothi My Loan. Stick around to the end to see if this is a real EA worth your time or just another MQL5 scam. This video is sponsored by Prosperity Algo and our free Golden Time Bomb Expert Advisor. Do you want to make 100+% annual returns through automating the London breakout and the opening range breakout? Then click the link in the description. So Mr. Lowe is a rather talented developer. So when he releases bots, I usually like to come and check out what he's doing. He tends to make expert advisors which all follow a pretty similar strategy of oftentimes placing pending orders at support and resistance levels. But with assets which are very volatile, have high volumes, high liquidity, and are very trend following in nature, like gold or indices or even Bitcoin, this type of strategy can work really well. And because he's done this so many times, I'm sure that he's developed quite a few interesting nuances to developing these bots. So he's made bots very similar to this in the past, so curious to see how Gold ISIS varies from his Diamond EAs, and he has a bunch of other ones which likely are all pretty similar. But we can maybe read through the sales page here just to see what particular nuances he's integrated in this version. So here we can see that it uses a dynamic stop loss based on the price range of recent candlesticks. That's neat. So effectively he's using an ATR based stop loss for this as opposed to a dollar stop or perhaps more of a percentage of price stop. For this type of system, I've found that ATR based stops can be quite a good option. I personally prefer percentage of price, but they're both very valid takes here. And something neat is that he's saying that it's equipped with 3 different trading strategies so that you're able to open multiple different trades simultaneously. One thing to keep in mind is that if you were to run this on a prop firm, just be really careful about duplicate trades because yes, they can increase your returns in the long run. However, they can also lead to more serious daily drawdowns. So you should really keep that in mind. And here as well, he's saying that it doesn't use martingale or grid. Fair enough. There's no fake AI, and it uses more like real trading strategies, and it's focused on a long-term result. And the kind of only really unique aspect I'm seeing here is that there's multiple different strategies running simultaneously. And he recommends that if you decide to toggle on more strategies, that you increase the amount of cash in your account. So that's quite interesting, actually. And here we're seeing that the high risk element involves more strategies, whereas the medium risk, I think all of these tests are actually with 3 strategies. Interesting. Okay, so far it's looking quite good. Let's go check out the live signal now. And we're seeing that the results are fantastic so far. It's only been trading 2 months, and I would venture that it's really benefited from the massive rally in gold we've seen the past few weeks. So as we know, like since Trump started putting on more tariffs, there was a lot of essentially risk being injected into the market, and that has caused the price of gold to go up quite a bit, especially if we couple that with existing geopolitical risks. So if we put all of this together, gold has been trending very, very strongly, once again hitting all-time highs just a few days ago. Therefore, these types of systems, which really benefit from very strong trends in gold, will obviously benefit. Keep in mind that if we were to enter a more choppy range, this type of system likely would not perform as well, but that's perfectly fair. It's just something that you should keep in mind as an EA user, that some systems which are more breakout based will obviously look great during strong trending markets, whereas more mean reverting systems such as a night scalper will generally speaking do better in more choppy sideways market environments. Perfect. So far it's looking pretty good here. I would venture, going through the statistics, we're probably going to see an inverted risk reward. No, we're not actually. The average loss is just incredibly small, but that's probably just because we haven't really had any major losses yet. We've had one tiny one there. Over time and in the backtest, I'm quite sure we're going to see a fairly inverted risk reward. Let's just go back here real quick again too to see, was that a true loss? Yes, it was. Interesting. Okay, let's now open up MT5, where I've taken the liberty of downloading the Expert Advisor and running a quick backtest. And what's quite neat here is that the equity curve does not look like your standard kind of staircase approach, which you see with these inverted risk rewards. So like, yes, there is a staircase, but it's almost a smooth staircase. Like usually when you're running a inverted risk reward system, you'll see these long runs of winners with very sharp drops. But here we're seeing almost like these smoother variations of it, which is a bit unique for this type of system. But as expected, we are having a very high win rate with an inverted risk reward, roughly of not quite a 5-to-1, but in the 4s. So that's showing that indeed this is a classic gold scalping system. Here as well, if we actually open up the chart, when I ran this on the M15, we can see that, as he said, it's using an ATR-based stop loss, likely as a when to start the trailing stop loss. Moreover, if we look here, you can see that it's likely trading breakouts of prior key levels. So usually you would place a pending order here, and when it touches that prior high, it opens up a quick scalping position, and likewise here. But now let's actually run a visual back test just to confirm. But before that, perhaps we can actually go through his inputs. The one thing which I'm a bit unsure about is what are the multiple strategies, because they all seem to be pretty similar. Perhaps it's the same entry with different trade management techniques. So maybe he's placing 3 different pending orders, one of which is a very tight take profit. Another one has a bit of a larger take profit. And this is similar to what they do in the Gold Reaper, except Wim likes to usually have a whole basket of orders, all of which are kind of sprinkled around the zone. Some of them are above the maxima, some of them are below the maxima, and they generally have different risk reward ratios depending on the actual trade or depending on the actual order. And he might be doing something similar there, where it's like multiple different pending orders, all of which have different take profit and or stop loss levels. But for us to actually see, let's run ourselves a quick visual backtest here. Oh, interesting. Okay. There's a zigzag indicator here. Okay, neat. And let's just keep fast forwarding. So maybe that's one of the different strategies. He might have like a minima maxima breakout system and a zigzag breakout system. Yeah, that could very well be true. And let's just check to see that he's placing pending orders. Yes, these are pending, right? Yeah, pending. And it's bidirectional. There's no moving average here too. That's really quite neat, actually. So let's maybe see if we can identify a bit more on what the exact strategies are. Some of them look to be zigzag based, as the zigzag indicator would suggest. Some of them I believe are min-max breakouts. That could be strategy number 2. And then strategy number 3, honestly, it might be a channel breakout, like what this box is showing. Like maybe it's looking for more of a Keltner channel or Donchian channel breakout, where it's looking at the past highs of previous candles. But there could very well be 3 different strategies here. And there is indeed a tight trailing stop loss. It appears to be ATR based, because if we go through the history here, they're all constant lot sizes, so he's not scaling there. But ultimately, from what I can see, this appears to be doing exactly what he says it's doing. It's a real trading system, and this type of strategy or this style of strategy usually works very well for gold. The one thing to note is because he is stacking a few different strategies together, the drawdowns can be quite hefty if we were to enter a market regime where this style of strategy does not do well. So good strategy. Just keep in mind that the past few weeks, this type of strategy would have done exceptionally well. So just factor it in to your buying decision that going forward, it might not be quite as rosy, but it looks like a very solid bot. I think it's a good strategy. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and excited to hear from you.